In today's video, we'll be exploring this free Google AI tool called NotebookLM. This tool is really good if you are trying to save time on spending hours on the internet, trying to research a particular topic, trying to get ideas from a huge pile of documents. NotebookLM will save you a whole lot of time, and you can actually write ebooks with it that you will sell as digital products. How cool is that? So let's go to NotebookLM. So NotebookLM is like a Google notebook with a brain. You can actually talk to it and it responds to you. So I'm going to click on create a new notebook here. I'm just going to close this out so it doesn't confuse us, but you can just quickly start from here. But I like naming my document first before I start working. So I'm just going to close this out and I'm going to name this. So if you look here carefully, you will see that there are three sections, three panes here. You have your sources pane, you have your chat section, and you have your studio section. So these three parts comes into play. Shouldn't confuse you. It's easy to understand. This is where you add in your sources. If you have PDFs, YouTube links, YouTube video links, web links, Google Documents, Google Slides, audios, raw text that you want to paste, you can paste it into this place. This is the part where you interact after you've pasted your text, and this is the studio part. You're going to take all this one after the other. Now, say I want to create an ebook called How to Start a Side Hustle with Canva. I don't want to spend hours on the internet researching, browsing, and all that. I'm going to save myself a whole lot of time and not bother looking for the sources. I'm going to allow NotebookLM to get me sources by itself. So I'm going to click on Discover here, and I will say, I want to write a short ebook called How to Start a Side Hustle with Canva. Please find high quality sources, including official Canva documentation, popular YouTube videos, blog reviews, or case studies not older than 6 to 12 months. I don't want information that are stale already. I want things that are recent, that are trending, that are happening. That's why I mentioned this not older than 6 to 12 months. So I said, focus on the content that explains starting a side hustle with Canva clearly to a beginner and show how people are actually using it today. And I will submit this prompt and allow NotebookLM to scout through the internet, look out for reliable sources and come back to me. It came back with these sources and you can go through them and see what they are. Some of them are video. You can see the icon. Some of them are web written content. You can shoot out any of them to see where the sources are coming from. So I'm going to click on import these 10 sources. It has added these sources here. It will give you a summary of all the sources you've added here. That's what to give you in this chat section, because the first thing you have to do is to pick your sources, then you move over to the chat section. So this chat section of the NotebookLM, it has given you a summary of these sources you gave it, but we are going to go further and ask it specific questions. So I started with, please outline a 5-chapter ebook using these sources. I will enter this. It has given me my 5-chapter ebook sources. You can see, if you click on any of these, you can see where the source is coming from. This is coming from Canva site itself. I'm going to minimize this. So I'm going to jump to the bottom and I'm going to save this note. If I like this 5 outline, to take it a step further, to go deeper with this 5 outline, I'm going to focus on each of the chapters and we'll work on that. And I want to focus on the first chapter, and I will say write the first chapter in an engaging, beginner-friendly tone, and I will enter that because it has given us an outline. It will pick it one after the other and write it. Now this is chapter 1, Introduction to Canva and its Earning Potential. Imagine how cool and easy this is. You just save your time. You create an ebook that you will sell, or it can be a lead magnet. You can give it for free that you use to collect emails. You can actually do anything with this. It's just so mind-blowing what NotebookLM can do and the amount of time it saves. And you can actually create a brief document if that is what you're going for. You can create a timeline, a study guide, a FAQ, depending on what you want to create with these sources you've given it. I have just told it now to write me a checklist for starting a side hustle. So it gives me a checklist of things that if I've done them, I will know this is checked. So I don't need to worry again. I don't need to bother. You can go through them and see what stages you are on and start working with that. How cool is this? And in the studios section, you can actually create a deep dive conversational tool that explains these whole sources for you. I'm going to generate a deep dive from these sources of God, and you'll see two people explaining. You can listen to the audio version. And so while this is generating, I'm going to go back. And if I click on create notes, say you have PDFs from you're a student or you're a researcher or you're doing your thesis, you're doing your PhD or doing your master's, you have this pile of books you have to read, this PDF, you have to go through all of them. You don't have the time to dwell on them, and you still want to get the meat out of them. You still want to pass your exams. You still want to be able to read through all your notes. You still want to understand what the document is in and have a full overview of what has been shared. NotebookLM will help you cut out the fluff, and you're going to go through that document and come out confident on the other side. So you see, you can upload your sources here or choose a file. You can drop them. You can drop a Google Docs, Google Slide, website, the YouTube video, copied text. You can also paste your copied text here. If you have all those sources, you just follow the same method we use. Once you impute the source, you come to the chat here and tell it, I don't have any source to impute, that's why I'm not imputing, and tell it this is what I want you to do. Another use case we might want to try, I'm going to click on this discover source here. I'm not going to give it specific instruction on where to get the sources from. I'm not going to tell it how good the sources should be. I'm just going to say, I want to write a children's story about a butterfly who learns how to paint. So it goes through the internet and find the sources. I'm going to import this, and it will summarize what the documents are all saying here. And I will come here for that and tell you what to do. So you should also know that NotebookLM can be inaccurate. Please double check its responses. So I said, write a YouTube children's story script about a butterfly who learns to paint. Please don't use any names or places mentioned in the source document. I don't want plagiarism or all those things that come with using people's information. So I'm going to enter this. So it has given me the script. It named the title, The Butterfly Who Painted the World. It has given me a proper script for me to use in my YouTube video. I'll jump to the bottom and you see you can save to notes. Now let's go back to the audio we're generating before we came to create this children book story. Now our audio is ready. You can see it's 18 minutes, close to 19 minutes, and you can listen.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into something pretty interesting, how people are actually making money using Canva.
Yeah, it's fast.
So you see, and you can click on these three dots and download this conversation. You can upload it on any podcast platform, on Spotify for podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, and create an account there and start posting podcasts. You might be asking, how is this different from ChatGPT? So ChatGPT can generate new content that are totally different from the source you gave it, but NotebookLM focuses on the sources that you've provided it and work with it. And NotebookLM is good for research and every other thing that comes with it, taking notes, summarizing your meeting notes, and all that. While ChatGPT has its function, NotebookLM has its own function. Let me know if you've been using NotebookLM in your project work as an undergrad student, in your research work as a PhD student, in your work as a day-to-day staff at your organization. So let me know what you'll be using it for. And like this video if you got value from it. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And as always, do have a good one.